Hi, everybody. I just wanted to make a really quick video kind of explaining what the assignment for today is going to look like and talk a little bit more about what you are going to encounter in this story. So, our first short story of this very brief unit is called American History by Judith Ortiz Cofer. You're actually going to find this story in the Big Blue textbook. So, make sure that we have found that and that we are able to locate it on page 32 of that textbook as well. I wanted to quickly comment on this concept of identity that you guys are going to come across in this story. All right. So, a lot of us, we don't have any struggles at all when coming up with our identities. Most of us here are white. We come from a rural background. Many of us are Christian. Many of us have no problems identifying as American because that's all we have known. But that sort of ease when it comes to our own identities isn't exactly the same for every single American. All right. So I have a really quick example in framing the text about somebody that I met in college. He came from a really, really different background than us here in Illinois are used to. And once you kind of understand his background a little bit, this being able to identify in one group or another isn't really as simple for him as it is for us. So our narrator of the story is kind of in a similar boat. She's American and she's Puerto Rican. America is all she's known, but yet she still feels kind of different from the other Americans that she goes to school with. And she's Puerto Rican, but she's never hardly been to Puerto Rico before. And so it's hard to kind of fully engage with the cultural, her heritage of Puerto Rico. So she's kind of in this weird in between spot. All right. One other thing that I want to point out for our narrator is that she's really interested in this boy named Eugene. However, what you're going to see is that she not only talks about Eugene, but she talks about this house that she can see from her apartment window. All right. And you'll start to notice that Eugene and this house, they kind of symbolize similar things for our narrator. So think about what you typically symbolize for the home. All right. We typically think of love and safety and comfort, right? And if you're somebody who maybe you've struggled to feel those things, all right, it can kind of start to make sense as to why a home might be such a big thing to somebody's life, all right, especially if those feelings, if you've never had a home before, it can mean something really special to somebody like that. All right. So the questions that we're going to do, basically the assignment is to read this story. It's very brief. All right. Then I want you guys to answer these 6 questions that you'll find on page 39. All right. Make sure that we have full, awesome answers. All right. And if you guys have any questions about this at all, please let me know. Have a good one.